Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining me for this quick little video. Just take about 10-15 minutes or so of your time. So in this video, I am just going to go over some of the emergency supplies that I have in the event of anything, from needing a splint to if I had to do surgery, I could because I'm skilled to do certain things. So some of the stuff that I do have, you might figure, well, it is kind of over the top. And again, it is, but I am, a lot of my past history, and educational experience revolves around healthcare. So, a lot of the stuff that I have the equipment for, I only bought it because I know how to do it. And because if I need to save one of my kids or, anything, a neighbor, or if I come across a car accident. It's just some of the things that I carry with me that you never know if you're going to need or not. So to just kind of go over some of my survival gear, and you will see and hear my daughter in the background. But first things first aid kit, right? Got to have Band-Aids. They're not a sponsor. But you have to have Band-Aids, you have to have, just stuff in general that you may never know what you're going to need. But I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I've got these kind of self-adhesive little wraps, bought them on Amazon. I have a big box of, I think it's either 24 or 48 ice bags, cold compress bags, if you will. So I have elastic bandages, as well as I have gauze pads. I have multiple sizes of Band-Aids. I've got the big ones because 6 kids that like to run outside and play and scrape up their knees. Well, I have different kinds of the big Band-Aids. I have different shapes. I've got Neosporin, pretty much you name it. I've got everything that I need. It says open, but I got everything that I need to ensure my family is going to be safe. And if in the event, like I said, of something catastrophic happening, I know that I can, how do I say this without seeming obsessed? I can keep my family alive until help gets there, basically. So you're going to be, first aid kit is up front, and that's the foremost. I have smaller first aid kits. Got these off of Amazon. I believe it was like $39 or something like that. So with these, you're going to have, it just kind of opens up to a nice little, bag. I've got alcohol wipes. I have a flashlight that requires batteries. Don't think I have batteries. I don't. But so I've got my flashlights. I have extra Band-Aids. I have a triangular badge. I have gauze rolls. I have tweezers. I have safety pins. I have cotton balls, scissors, tape, depending on what type of bandage they need. I have a mouth-to-mouth CPR mask. I have paracord with a compass on it. I've got screwdrivers that go on a Phillips screwdriver and a flathead screwdriver. It's just, fire starter. We go camping. So, if I need a fire starter, I have a multi-tool in here as well, which is, carried around in your wallet or in your back pocket. It's got a kind of a knife on this side. It has kind of a sawed edge on this side. You can use it for Phillips screwdriver. So it's just got many different uses for it. And again, these are just the kind of small ones that I keep in my car. I have fishing line, lure, weight, hooks. If I'm camping and I'm out and about and, need food, I've got utensils for camping. I've got fire starters. I have, my little click-it lights. I've got a whistle. If we get lost out in the woods, like I said, we go camping. I've got my whistle. Got my emergency blanket. Another thing that I have, so I got extra paracord as well. But another thing I have pretty much a hand saw. Sorry, I'm holding it up too high. So I have a hand saw, which, you know, just if you need to saw something to make a shelter, it's there. I have it. Not saying I've ever had to use it. Obviously, I haven't, because most of the stuff is still in the original packaging it came in. But again, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So this is just one of the ones that I keep in both of my trucks. Like I said, and you mentioned in a couple of other videos, I do own a lawn care company. So I do have a bigger first aid kit, which is this one here. Didn't come in this bag, but my dog, German Shepherd, managed to chew through my other bag. But this one here, you know, it's just stocked with, I have a stethoscope. I have a blood pressure cuff, sphygmomanometer. I have, what else do I have in here? Let's see. I got some of my fishing stuff in here, because I do take this with me when I go fishing. I've got triangular bandages. I've got, again, more emergency blankets that are in here. I've got, what is this? Wound and trauma dressing kits. I have multiple things. This is my more extensive first aid bag, first aid kit. But again, I do have, you know, 6 kids. We do 7 kids when my stepdaughter's here. We do go camping quite a bit. We enjoy getting in the great outdoors. So, you know, this one, I believe, I want to say that this bag may have costed roughly around the $300 mark for all the supplies that came with it. It is a ton of supplies that came with this bag. So again, I'm not saying run out and go spend $300 on an emergency bag. Again, I have this bag because everything in this bag I've been trained to use, so I know how to properly use it, which is why I have a bag this size, or why I have an emergency kit this size. But so I've got, you know, Band-Aids and just kind of quick fix antibiotic ointments, Band-Aids, again, more gauze pads, a few more of the self-adhesive wraps that are in here. So I've kind of added a little bit extra to this. I've got scalpels in here if I needed it. So just a bunch of different things in this kit. That's my main kit. So we live in Nebraska, as I've stated before. We do get threats of tornadoes a lot. We get windstorms that can cause us to be without power. So this med kit is one of the main ones that my kids know, hey, when those sirens go off and I say we need to get to the basement, they pretty much know the oldest one will grab this bag and head downstairs while I'm wrangling up all the other kids and my wife is trying to find the cat and dog. But let's go into a few other items that I do have. And again, it's not something that you need. It's just something that I have for my preference. So I do have an ambu bag. And of course, again, it's not open. Trained to use it. So it is there if I need it for any reason. One of my favorite things that I have, found this on Amazon. Power goes out. We get bad snowstorms up here too. I recall a snowstorm of, I believe, October of 1997, where it was heavy rain and then ice and then snow, and pretty much we were out of power. There were some people that were out of power for, 2-3 weeks in the freezing cold. Thankfully, we were lucky enough growing up. I think we may have been out of power maybe for a day, and our power came back on. So we didn't have to endure 2 or 3 weeks worth of being in the dark and being in the cold. So we lucked out on that, but I don't want my kids to ever have to go through something like that. So again, we live in a world of uncertainty, and the only way to be certain of anything is to be prepared, such as life. Be prepared, prepare for worst case scenario, even if it does seem a little bit on the extreme, but prepare for worst case scenario, plan for the worst, hope for the best. That way, if the worst does happen, A, you're already mentally prepared for it, and B, you already have everything that you need, so it's not going to devastate you as much as if you didn't have the stuff that you need. I apologize, my blinds are open and I keep looking out, seeing cars driving by, so I apologize about that. But one of this I found on Amazon. It is a solar powered flashlight. Does not need batteries at all. Has a nice little belt clip function here. You can clip it to a belt clip or a backpack. This is a solar panel that will charge it. It does have, on the back here, it's got a turn handle to kind of charge up the light. This is all solar. There is no battery spot for this. There's no nothing. Turn it a few times and honestly, you'll get a good couple of minutes out of, the light. So it's all solar. It's not a hybrid thing. This is just something that I prefer to have. Batteries, worst case scenario, zombie apocalypse happened. Well, nobody's there to make batteries. What are you guys going to do? Nothing, because once the batteries run out, the batteries run out. So I always try to have a backup as far as like a natural way to charge things, which solar is, one of the naturalist ways to charge electronics and items. So a lot of the things that I do have are solar chargeable, solar charged, solar. Let's just go with that. So I have probably about 8 or 9 of these, one for each kid. If the power goes out and they need to go to the restroom in the middle of the night, hey, they have it. Crank it up, turn it on, you're good to go. So that's one of my many solar powered things I have. Another thing that I have, everyone should have one of these. It is a solar powered battery bank. Charge it up in the sunlight. This big front panel here, this is your solar panel to charge that takes the sun's rays and charges it, turns it into electricity power, whatever. There are, on this one I do have, not sure if you could see here, there's a few little dots here. This is to tell me how charged my panel is, if my battery bank needs to be charged some more, and also if whether or not if I'm charging my cell phone in a power outage. If I'm charging my cell phone, it'll tell me how much power is left in this power bank so I can make sure that I get a full charge on it. This little part here flips up. It is USB and type A. Down here, I didn't opt for the one with the type C. I'm not sure why I didn't, but I'll get another one ordered that has exactly what I need. But this also works as a flashlight. Also has a compass on the back. Came with a nice little ring here to clip it to your backpack or whatever. And just while you're camping, clip it on your backpack, let it charge. So when you get to your destination or your camping site, you already have it charged and you're ready to go. So that's another item that I have. Moving on to the next item, an emergency radio. Because, well, let's be honest, how are you going to know what's going on in an emergency if the power's out and you can't flick on the TV, or cell service is down and you can't just pull up an app and see what's going on? So I have an emergency radio. Now, the deal with this radio, as well as with my power bank, these are considered hybrid because I can plug them in and charge them from a wall outlet if I need to. However, I have not needed to, nor have I done it. I literally only use solar power to charge these up because I need to see how good they're going to run and how long they're going to last if worst case scenario power went out and all I had was my solar powered electronics to kind of keep me going and keep me in the know. So this also has it has a few lights on it. Flip it up, you got yourself a little reading lamp if you need it. This is your solar panel right here on top. Okay, this is what is used to charge the device. So you always want to make sure you keep it clean, keep it dry, and don't drop it or put it somewhere where it could be dropped. I just put these in my windowsill, kind of behind the couch in my bedroom, just so that way I know the kids, I know the kids can't get a hold of it. Even the cat knows not to mess with these. But you can see the lights on here, and it tells you, let me see if I can, all right. So it tells you how much battery you have left in this specific device in the radio. So I'm at 75%. It's kind of cloudy today, but I will still put this up in the windowsill so that it can get another charge to it. So it's just an AM FM weather radio. It does have another light function here as well. Brightens it ×3 if you need to. It also has an SOS alarm on here. Now I'm not going to push this button. My wife has very sensitive ears. So I'm not going to push this button. I've never pushed this button because certain noises and frequencies can hurt her ears. So it does have an SOS button on here, if you're ever in trouble. On the back, you do have your antenna. Yes, my little clippy clip piece here is broke, but it doesn't matter because the antenna still stays put. This is what you use. Same as with the flashlights. Use this to charge. Pull it out. Turn it. Just turn and 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 turn. And, you know, always want to make sure that you do clip that back because you don't want anything to happen to it. But needless to say, this is
storms until midnight. Then a chance of thunderstorms after midnight.
My emergency radio. So I also have that. Now, I know I said I like using all solar, which I do. But until I can find me a solar power headlamp, this is what I have, which is battery powered. Again, you can change, you know, the brightness on it. You can have it flashing. You can have it on a red. It does come with a red. I believe this one comes with a red feature. Maybe not. But anyways, so I also have this because if power goes out and I'm trying to cook a meal, which more than likely, if power goes out, I'll have to cook a meal outside, whether it be on the grill or just on an open flame. The last thing I want is to only be using one hand. I want both hands available so that I can maintain safety to make sure that my family is safe. Excuse me, and to make sure that our house doesn't burn down because, you know, that's catastrophic. So those are just a couple of the things that I have. I do apologize, not sure why my throat is kind of sore, but we'll get there. So another thing that I do have a solar powered generator. This thing is amazing. It has came in handy on only one other occasion. That's the one time I've had to use it. This thing is amazing. It does have Type-C, USB. It does have an outlet, you know, so if you need to plug something up that isn't USB or have a cell phone cable, you know, you have that option there. So the deal with this one though, I think I maybe paid, I believe it was like $90 on Amazon. It was less than $100. I think I caught a sale on it. It's called Steelite. Steelite. Again, not sponsored. This is just the brand that I chose. It works. It does its function for me. Has a 12 volt cigarette, 12 volt cigarette charger thing here. You know, if you're stuck in your car, it is a great thing to have in your car. Like I said, we go camping. So anyways, so this is my portable generator. I guess you could say my solar powered generator. 98%. The battery does last an extended period of time on this, depending on how many things that you have hooked up to it. It does tell your input and output once you plug something up. And this is just kind of one of my go-tos. The oldest, our oldest son, who grabs the med kit if there's a tornado warning and we need to get to the basement. He knows to also grab, excuse me, I apologize. Give me 1 second. All right, my apologies. Sorry about that. But again, so my oldest son, the one that grabs the big backpack, the big medical bag, he knows to also grab this and take this down with him. And then my third oldest, just because he's a little more careful with things. So this is my solar panels that I use to charge up my little solar generator. Now the generator, when I bought the generator, it was not bought, they were bought together, but it wasn't, it's not from the same company, if that makes sense. So the deal with this, I guess you guys get to see another cool tool of mine. So I have a little mini hatchet, mini hammer. And then, you know, there's wire splitters. It's a multi-tool, basically, at the end of the day. That's exactly what it is. It's just a multi-tool. I've got saw blades that I can use if I need to, you know, cut down a tree. Well, I have saw blades that I could do it. And it looks like one of my kids have managed to, it might have been my wife. But anyways, so again, I have a plethora of emergency supplies. But so this here is, all right. So this is my solar. These are my solar panels. So the only thing when I bought the Steelite generator and then I bought these solar panels, you know how on Amazon it says, comes recommended, or if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, it'll say, you could buy these in a group. So that's what I did. It is just literally 3 panels. Let me kind of stand up and back up here so you can see just how big they are. All right, so 3 panels, right? Fairly simple. I believe they're 60 watts each, I believe. Don't quote me on that because I could be wrong. But 60 panels, or 3 panels. Sorry, I'm getting discombobulated here. So 3 panels, and what I do, so this didn't come with, I believe I needed a female to female. So it does, 60 watt foldable solar panel. Comes with, many different attachments for whatever you might need it for. And it did not come with I needed a female to female. So I needed a female to female, but the problem is, to charge the generator, I need a certain size. This size. This is the original cord that came with it. So I needed a certain size to fit into both the solar panels and the generator. And these are not the same size. As you can see, one is a tad bit wider, bigger in circumference than the other one. So how am I going to charge it? Well, I literally just went to Best Buy and searched Amazon, found the right cord, that I needed. You just need you need a female to female charging cord, or female to female connector cord at the same circumference. And you just literally plug it into the input button, plug it into your solar panel, and you're good to go. It'll start charging it immediately. So this is one of the other options that I have as far as for, keeping my power going in emergency situations. So, such as life, anything happens, and it is better to be prepared for something than to not be prepared and everything happen. So my little handy hatchet here that I take camping with us. But, it's just one of those things. You never know what's going to happen. You never know when it's going to happen. So what's it going to hurt for you to be prepared? A lot of these items like the Band-Aids and first aid supplies, you can honestly just get those from Dollar Tree. $1.25. Go to Dollar Tree if you have an extra $10, which anybody can get a kit like mine, maybe a little less expensive depending on your needs and your home size. You can get one like mine or even more extensive than mine's. It's a matter of, are you willing to sacrifice some minor things? Times are tough. Food is insecurities, food is rising. Gas prices are still, fairly high. I don't think those will ever go back down. But these are just items that you can buy when you have the extra money. I think these lights for a pack of 6, I think I paid like $36. For my family size, that is honestly that's not even the cost of one fast food meal. If I decided to buy fast food for my entire family, we're spending anywhere on average between $45 and $60 on fast food. So if we can suffer 1 week that we don't eat fast food, well, guess what? I've got items that I can add to our emergency supply stash. So if in the event something happens, I know that we're covered. I believe my little power bank, Amazon has some that are between $20 and $40. Just kind of depends on, what plugs, what ports you want, and the battery itself. I think for my little emergency radio, I've bought 2 of these and sent one to my sister who lives in Texas, just because, they're having a lot more tornadoes down there in the last few years. I think I paid, it was less than $40 for this radio. It might have been like maybe $38, but you can catch a lot of these solar powered radios on Amazon where they have coupons, save 10%. Just click the little check box and bam, you're saving some money. So again, these are all things that I've ordered within reason. I didn't go out and order it all at once, and that's okay. The point is to get started It's not to, oh, well, I can't go and buy all this stuff at once, so I'm just not going to get started. No, the point is to get started, to make sure, because no one is going to take care of you and your family the way you and your family, other than God Himself, will take care of your family. So if in the event that something happens, it's always better to be prepared and not need it than to need it and not have it. Such is life, okay? Any and everything happens. Let's stay prepared. If you guys have any other solar ideas or anything else that you think that I might be interested in, by all means, please leave a message. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, hit that notification button to know anytime I upload new videos or new content. And also go on ahead and hit that share button. Like I said, this is a wide variety of content that I'm putting on this channel, from cooking to pantry hauls to grocery shopping to meal planning. Well, not meal planning, but just meal cooking, to a lot of the survival gear that I have and the camping stuff that I have. So it's going to be a wide variety of content. This is just, again, we're allowing you into our lives of what is considered a big family. Like I said, we're a family of 8, sometimes 9, if my oldest stepdaughter's here. And this is just, we're inviting you into our lives and just our everyday stuff, everyday things that I have to check on, or, that I have to do to be a productive member of society. Being a parent, and how I deal with all the stresses and the frustrations of having so many kids with so many different attitudes, just kind of running around all at once. It's not easy. I'll tell you that much. It's not easy. But at the end of the day, my goal as a parent is to make sure that I am prepared to take care of my kids, and to make sure that I am teaching my kids how to be prepared themselves once they start having families of their own. So anyways, thank you for joining me on this video. Don't forget to click the like, subscribe, and the share button. I will catch you all a little later. I will be uploading the video of my pot roast that I started earlier, but I'm just waiting for it to finish so I can kind of finish up that video, and I'll get it uploaded, if not tonight, probably tomorrow. But again, thank you for joining me, and welcome into our lives, into our home. Hope you enjoyed this video. Such is life. Take care, and I'll see you guys next video.